Hey, this is the Draco Ranger doing a review of the Power Ranger Samurai Claw Megazord. This is the Megazord in its lobster form. It's pretty long, pretty big, but not as big as the Japanese version. To me, it is the best Zord of the series. And it's just all in all nice. Doesn't have as much paint and shiny chrome pieces like the Japanese version does, but it's pretty good for the American version. And the Japanese version, these are shiny, the claws are shiny, and the end of the tail is shiny. They have a shiny sticker on this tail, if you can see it. So let's go ahead and transform it into the Megazord. But first you take off the head and split it in two halves. Then you take off the tail and you pull the legs apart, turn them to where the round shiny things on the silver things on the back are on the back. Turn the foot. Do the same on the other leg. Then you pull down the claws. Fold them up. And those are your hands. And then you fold down the little antenna. Turn it around. Pull up the feet of the lobster. Pop the bottom of the tail on the back in the grooves, and then place these in their grooves on the back. And that is the Power Rangers Samurai Claw Megazord in Megazord mode. Now, it's pretty nice in this form. It's not as bulky as the Japanese Megazord. It's about the size of the Samurai Megazord in height. Now, one thing with this Megazord is that you can change the faces and the battle modes, I guess. And the first one, which is the one most widely used by everybody, is the red one, which is the East. Here's a close-up on the face, which is all you do to pull out the weapons is, because each one has a different weapon, is pull out the claws. It is probably the worst of the forms because the claws are already on the shoulders, so all you do is just fold them down. It's kind of simple, nothing really extra. Now, there are 3 more modes, which to change modes, you can either use the knob right here in the front, which is what I do, or you can turn it here. I use the knob because to me the antenna get in the way. So to change the knob, the next one is North. North is the only one that was not shown in the first appearance of the Megazord, which is you take the Squid Zord and combine it with it. First you take off the feet of the squid and pop it right here on the chest. We'll go on. Here we go. And then you take the rest of it with the things out and pop it in its hands. And it is a little sword. Personally, I would rather they would have done it like it does in the show, where it looks kind of like a lance. but that's just the way they wanted to do it. It's okay, that form is okay, but I would prefer the lance. The next one is West, which is for West. To get the weapon, you fold up the Zord lobster legs, pull off the end of the tail, and put it in its hand like a little fan. And here's a close-up on the head to see what it looks like. It's green. It's probably my second favorite because it does use the fan. And that's kind of creative when it comes to weaponry. Who would think a fan is deadly? And then the next mode, which is my personal favorite, not only because I am from the South, but because it is probably the coolest looking mode, is the Southern mode. And that's what the face looks like. Which for it, you just take off the heads off the back of this, fold up the head, and put it in the hands, and it makes two dual swords. So, and that is the basic gist of the Power Rangers Samurai ClawZord. Now a spoiler they have in the toy that they have not had in the show is that you can combine it with the Power Rangers Samurai Megazord. So basically, to do this, you take off the sword, take off the helmet, put the helmet in the foot of the dragon, in the bottom of the dragon, the foot. Take off the feet, fold down the head, pull the tiger back, and pull those down. And now that you're finished with the the Megazord, the Samurai Megazord. Now for this, you pull off the lobster head / swords, pull off the shield, pull off the back, the front or back, and pull off the legs. Then you take the legs, fold this in, and then pull the top down and rotate it. And to where the point is facing up, and then set it on the leg like that. Do the same for the other one and put it on the bear. Then you snap the rest of the Samurai Megazord into the leg. It looks kind of like that. Then you take the upper body of the ClawZord, snap it in so it snaps in kind of like that. Take the end of the tail, put it right on the little knob there. Bring out the legs of the ClawZord, bring these up, bring the legs up, and fold down the head. I usually like to put this on before I put the upper body on, but because it's easier, but for the video I'm just going to do it this way. And then you just snap them on. It's actually getting easier and easier every time that I do it. And you take the swords and fold them like that, put them in the hands. Now that is the completed Megazord. And this is what the head looks like. I like it pretty good. It's probably the best looking that the Samurai Megazord has ever looked in the American toy. But there's also several ways you can put the hands on the back if you don't like them being this way. This is what the instructions say to do. Now you can, some people put them up like this, so they're hid behind the shoulders a little bit. Then some people, oops, pulled off the head. There. Some people take them and fold up the monkey as best as you can into its symbol, and fold the turtle into a symbol, which is the only one that can technically form into its symbol. And it looks a little bit more like the Japanese version. The way I personally do it is by leaving them folded down. Leaving them folded down, and then turning this one in a little bit and putting the sword so the sword is being held in the back of this and you won't lose it. And the sword's kind of poking out on the side, so it's kind of like in a belt sheath that goes across the belt. So, but all in all, this is a pretty nice Megazord. I really don't understand what's the point of having these little legs here, but I probably will find out as soon as they start showing this on the American version of the television show. And so this is I like it pretty good. This is my review of this Megazord, the Claw Megazord, which in this form is the Ultimate Megazord. I like it, but that's just my opinion. You can form your own opinion about it. And this is the Draco Ranger signing off.